start with an opening statement for Coach and then open for questions for Jasmine and Coach Rose.
What a great basketball game. I thought that was a fantastic game. Thought that Florida obviously competed at a really high level. I thought our kids competed at a really high level. It's definitely a game of runs. And I thought there was just a great display of basketball out there and team camaraderie, all the things, like just playing as hard as they could for their school and for each other on both sides. I'm really proud of our girls and just the resiliency that they've played with in March. I think they had every opportunity to step away and not compete for each other, for our team, for the way our season was going, but they came together and they played their very best basketball in March, and what a run it was. And it's March 27th, and we just finished playing basketball, and I'm super proud of them. This kid sitting next to me, and she had a fantastic game. She's been a leader for us, really the past 3 years. She's really bought in and stepped up to what we've been doing, and I'm just so proud of her. And for her to have a game like she did tonight was fantastic. And you could just see how much joy she was playing with and how she was competing for not only herself and for her team, but for Texas Tech. So just love that she is playing at her very best, and her teammates as well. We left a lot of points at the free throw line, and that's unfortunate. So that's gonna sting a little bit for everybody, but at the end of the day, I thought it was a great game, and our kids gave everything they had.
Hi, Coach. Jack Meyer, the Independent Florida Alligator. Just obviously, you guys had a pretty unprecedented run considering the seeding of the tournament. So just what do you think it says about your team that you guys were able to play on the road this entire tournament, backs against the wall, and still make it to the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I just think it speaks to our character of our kids. It speaks to the perseverance that they have and what they've endured this season, and how they chose to get through hard, because they could have chosen to quit. They could have chosen to wave the white flag, and I never saw that in them. Even during the stretch that in February that was so brutal, we were in almost every game, and I think that just speaks to what great kids we have in our locker room, and love that they got to experience what March Madness is all about. They definitely felt the magic in that, and it was really fun to see them be so confident and having so much fun playing with one another.
How did you feel that your squad stacked up against Florida? It's obviously a very physical, down to the wire contest. How did you feel that you guys stacked up, just in terms of the tail of the tape?
Yeah, Florida's really athletic, and they're bigger than us, bigger and longer than us. I knew that it was going to be a defensive battle, if you will, because they're long, athletic, can create a lot of turnovers. They can create a lot of deflections, but we do that as well. And so I think it went right down to what we thought it would, right? I mean, it's last possession. Everybody's playing super hard. Definitely, like I said, a game of runs. But I thought that we did a good job of taking away some of the things they like to do, and they certainly did a good job of taking away some of the things we like to do.
And then, Jasmine, you finished with a team-high 21 points. There were a lot of momentum swings, as mentioned in the other question. I'm curious, how do you stay consistently hot and just, keep on firing away on the offensive end in a game that's just so back and forth the entire time?
Yeah, I think you have to understand that basketball is a game of runs, and at any time somebody can catch hot. So for me, just to continue to be that spark for the team, I know we were struggling offensively early, so me just coming in and kind of taking the lid off the basket for the team was just, eye-opening for them. And then once I started hitting, everybody else started hitting. And then, Florida's going to go on a run of their own because they're a great basketball team, but eventually they're going to stop and we're going to have to go on a run of our own. So, just being confident and, staying hot within myself.
And then just one more question from me for both of you. A lot of highs and lows this season, but ending it on a pretty solid note, with this run in the tournament and a strong game to go out on, even if it resulted in a loss. I'm just curious, how would you define this season for you guys and hope to build on it going forward?
I think the word that we have always used this entire season was adversity. And like Coach said, we had every opportunity this season to, sit down and wave the white flag, but we didn't. We, turned around at a great point in the season. And like Coach said, it's March 27th, and we just finished playing basketball. And so I told the team in the locker room, there's nothing to be sad about. We played our butts off. Everybody from 1 through 15 played their butts off, and I was just proud of everybody, how we stuck together and we continued to fight even though our backs was against the wall.
Yeah. I would say that this team has learned a lot of life lessons, to be honest, throughout this season. And we've preached that a lot. You know, we're big believers in that basketball and athletics in general parallels to the game of life, like so much. And, you know, they went through a lot of adversity. We've all gone through a lot of adversity. They've had a lot of people give up on them, and they chose to fight. They chose to fight through hard. They chose to stick together. They chose to be there for one another, and I'm so happy that they got to see the reward for it, because your time's always going to come, right? Your time is going to come, and the hard is going to end up being worth it at some point. And if these kids had have given up, they'd have just missed out on some fantastic memories that they just made this month.
Thank you.
Thank